excitement, wonder as we unbox more games from Dice Tower, Dice Tower West that we got back from, and we got a bunch on the last day. So here's more.
We did. We got a bunch on the last day.
In fact, here's the pile.
I don't know how we got all that in our suitcase.
I know, right? Yeah, well, that was Sarah. Sarah did an excellent job.
I had to Tetris everything in there.
She did.
We repacked our suitcase 3 times.
Mm-hmm. So, Ito, we've been kind of wanting this for a little while, and they had copies there at the Arcane Wonders booth. Ito, which is a sort yourselves by the number that you have kind of a game. It's a cooperative game.
Is this kind of like the Mind?
No, it's more like Wavelength.
Okay.
It's like Wavelength, but fully cooperative.
Okay.
In the sense that you are given 2 different ends of a spectrum, and you have to sort yourselves along that spectrum.
Okay.
So, for example, famous people you would like to be.
Oh.
And I have 92, and you have 42. And
Okay.
so I say somebody who I would, I have this backwards. I say somebody, some famous person that I would like to be, that I would really like to be, because that's almost at 100. And you say a famous person that you would maybe kind of like to be.
Okay.
And we attempt to sort ourselves along this spectrum from 0, as the 0 card is out there already,
Ooh.
to 100. So, like,
So real or fictional? So
useful, yeah.
You would have said Boba Fett.
Yeah, absolutely, I would have said
And
Boba
I would
Fett.
have gone, that's going to be a high number. Okay.
Or, for example, useful skills for work.
Oh, nunchuck skills.
Yes. For work.
Depends on what you do for work.
Right.
If you're an assassin,
Well, there you go.
nunchuck skills might be really important.
And then you've got, like, funny sounds. Do it.
Do it.
Oh.
Oh. Are you going to do a funny sound?
No.
Oh. Oh, there we go.
That's a somewhat funny sound. I don't know what these are for, but there you go.
Okay.
So that's what this deck is, or that's what this game is a bunch of cards numbered 0 to 100, plus a whole bunch of ways to sort yourselves.
Okay.
So there you go.
Party game. Looks like fun.
Yes.
Ito.
Which I seem to remember Ito is Japanese for, there it is. In Japanese, Ito means both thread and intention. And so you have the thread on the cards.
Okay, I gotcha.
And
Nice.
intention. Anyway, okay. So that is Ito, which I'm looking forward to. This is another game by Ninja Star, Dan Kobayashi's company.
So Dan does The Pride of Ninjas, which we backed on Kickstarter, and we're really excited to get.
And Yokai Septet.
And Yokai Septet,
which is one of our favorite trick-taking
yeah,
games.
if you watch our channel, it's all over our channel. We love that game.
And so we picked this up from him, and as you would expect, there is a do not eat packet.
I would expect that. You know, at this point, companies that don't put a do not eat packet in their games,
What do you think you're doing?
Exactly.
All right. We
Only
have a
the
rule
best
book.
companies put do not eat packets in their games.
Rule book, a bunch of meeples,
Yeah.
some
Those
cards.
are fun shaped meeples.
Yeah.
Cool.
We have Megacorp
Ooh.
and C30.
C30? Don't you mean CEO?
I'm reading it upside
Were
down.
you being serious?
I'm reading it upside down.
I thought you were joking.
Look at that. Look at that. It looks like a 3, does it not?
Yeah.
So I read that backwards
You
with
just
the 3.
read Megacorp and didn't equate that as CEO.
Megacorp. Now it's C30.
That is so funny.
All right. Public sector project, private sector project.
Okay.
And so the megacorps are basically you get to choose. This is your special power, along with the CEO is your special power for the game. And then you're bidding on the private sector and public sector projects.
Oh, very fun.
And there's more to it, but that's what's going on there.
Oh, stuff to punch.
And
Mark
we have a
loves
bunch
punching
of
out
punch boards. Oh, yeah. Along with player mats.
Oh, awesome.
And so there's 6 of them there in the 6 player colors. I will enjoy punching those out later.
It seems like you enjoyed punching them out now.
Well, I didn't punch them out.
Okay.
I mean, they're still they're not
true.
They're not knocked out.
You're right.
They're still conscious.
That was not a KO.
Yeah. So I didn't punch them out. So that is Reputation by Ninja Star Games. Next we have Mezen.
Mezen.
And I believe all of the rest of these are Arcane Wonders.
I think you're right.
Which is funny because the first one was also Arcane Wonders.
Okay. Sandwiched in. Ninja Star Games got sandwiched in.
Well, I piled them by box size.
Box size,
So
yes,
that's why that happened.
That's usually how I stack them as well.
Yep.
Mezen, I've been looking at this for about a year, actually.
Yeah, Sarah's been really interested in this. And I've been somewhat interested in this. It is an abstract strategy game, which doesn't tend to be my favorite kind of game.
And I love abstract strategy.
But I do play them often because Sarah enjoys them. So there is the board, and we have a whole bunch more punch boards.
Yay! Fun stuff for Mark to do.
Mm-hmm.
So aside from reading rule books, you enjoy punching out and organizing the games.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we
Which is funny because Mark doesn't like organizing anything else.
That's not entirely
organizing
true.
in our house.
It depends on what it is. It depends on what it is. I like organizing some things and not other things, as I make a whole bunch of noise with this.
Awesome.
We got some cool chunky wooden pieces. I actually don't know how to play this game at all.
So was this the ASMR edition? Here, let's get the... Oh, there you go. That's probably really annoying.
Is that what they all do?
I don't know because I don't really like ASMR.
Right.
So I don't really watch it.
And so there you go. These are different somethings on cards, and I will have to read the instructions.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember how this game works. I know I looked into it a little while ago and I was interested and we were finally able to pick it up.
And now I need to put these in a bag or they're going to scatter all over the place.
It actually wasn't that heavy. We brought it home. The end.
The end. More things to punch. Yay. I need to remember that I face it to the camera.
Yes.
And so it goes this way.
It does.
So that when I look at the back, then I can go, yay, I put it on right. All right. Then we have Video Game Champion.
Ooh, this is brand new, if I am correct.
I believe so.
I don't remember seeing this at their booth at East last year.
I don't either.
So.
And I didn't even know this game existed.
Right, I didn't either. Oh my word, stop doing that.
Until we saw it there, and I was like, that looks freaking awesome.
Yeah, they had this, Arcane Wonders had this out at their booth.
Yes.
Pretty much the whole convention, so that people could play test it.
Yeah. So we have a cool rule book here.
So if I understand correctly, this game is all about being a 90s kid going to the game store and renting games and trying to play as many as you possibly can. And so that is the entire premise of the game. You are going to the store to get games and you are playing games and you're trying to be the one who plays the most.
That's more than I knew about it. But I do know that I can punch those.
Awesome.
All right, we have bags.
We have bags.
And more.
See?
Do not eat packets.
Every good game has a do not eat packet.
And more. Do not eat
Another
packets. That was cubes, by the way. Just wooden cubes.
Okay.
These look very cool. Look at that. These must be workers. So you have the different colors. Looks like there's up to 5 players, probably. 5 different colors.
Yeah, I think so. I think these are your player
yes,
colors.
2 to 5 players.
Fun.
Those are very cool. They've got the 8-bit
Yes.
motif, as it were.
As it were.
We have little crystals in various colors.
Okay.
Are those the player colors?
No.
No, there's the purple and there isn't a blue in here. So, no, they're not. We have 2 bags, one significantly larger than the other.
Okay.
Again, I don't know what any of this does, but it is cool. And more bags. And we have what looks to be... Oh no, these are player boards. Okay.
There we go.
We have player boards. I thought these were...
It's a school notebook.
Yes, okay.
Passwords.
And then what is on the bottom here? So they have a paper insert, but through it you can see that. So I'm really curious. Yeah, that's fun.
That is very fun. 16 bits. I like over here, it says A, B, C, D. Like you're getting some kind of a cheat code for the game.
Oh.
Very clever.
So we have a score pad. I'm going to start putting things back in as I show them off. Appears as though these are different mock games. Oh, these are all completely different except for these first ones. I wonder if these are... Yeah, so that's a game cartridge, as it says right there. I
think every player gets one of these.
Yeah, these must be the starting ones or something like that.
Yeah, there's 5. I think every player gets one.
Every player gets one somehow, anyway. And we have... Oh, is that Dune? No. It's like a combination between Mad Max and Dune.
That looks like a sandworm chasing them. Maybe it's Tremors? That movie came out, I think, in the 80s or 90s.
Oh, that's cool. Bounty hunters. But yeah, so these are all different
there's the
fictional...
shark one. Go back a couple.
They're all different fictional video games. Legally distinct from any.
Yes.
And then this must be the...
game over.
Game over. I'm not sure what that is. Anyway, very cool. And then we have little cards. So it looks like we have a different number of them per player. Oh, so these are all for different things. Look at the fronts. I don't know what any of this means.
Right.
But I like the symbols. The
Rule
symbols
book
are fun.
reading for Mark so he can figure it all out. Yeah.
One of my favorite things.
One of your favorite things.
These are a few of my favorite things. Reading rule books.
Punching game boards.
Well, you don't punch the game board.
I guess that depends on if you lose or not. No.
Yeah.
Darn it.
Flipping tables.
Flipping tables. There you go. No, those are not my favorite things. Those are very messy.
All right. So that's the backs of these cards.
Wow, that is really busy, but it's fun.
Right. These look like just more versions of the same other things over there. Again, I have no idea what any of these do. In the 1990s, the golden age of 16-bit video games, a simpler time when every kid's dreams revolved around becoming the next video game champion. You and your friends are 90s kids, dividing your time and attention between earning money, studying, renting video games, buying game strategy magazines, begging your parents to buy you video games as presents, and ultimately playing as many video games as you can. Do you have what it takes to rise above the competition and become the next video game champion? There you go. Cool. Another one from Arcane Wonders. We have Foundations of Metropolis, which I hear, and I didn't even know this until after we got it, and then somebody told me that this is the regular, not retail, I guess retail edition, whatever, of Foundations of Rome. Foundations of Rome is an enormous city building game with miniatures that are like this tall and buildings and stuff like, not miniatures, miniature buildings. It has quite the following. This is the smaller punchboard version of it, basically. Honestly, I like this theme better.
Okay.
But here is your rule book, or rather our rule book for this game. Boom, 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 cool. Moving on. Now, this is something that I very much appreciate, is that they made the box size, obviously they made the box size so that it'll fit everything after the punch boards are done, and they put the punch boards in and so that the box lid lifted up inside the shrink wrap. So now I don't have a whole bunch of extra space in here after I punch all these.
Okay.
Which I very much appreciate when games do that. Thank you, Arcane Wonders. Don't eat that, please. We have a first player token and a whole bunch of coins. Buildings! And more buildings. These ones in red.
Ooh.
And more buildings. These ones in purple.
I like the purple.
And even more buildings. Aww. These ones in yellow.
How pretty.
It appears we have 4 different player colors, all in wooden pieces, which is very cool. We have some cubes in those same player color pieces. And we have cards going from A1, A2, A3, etc. to E9, and then you've got F. So let's see what's on the other side. Ah, this is just the backs.
Okay.
So these must be places on the board game, on the game board, I should say, itself. Positions or whatever. And then that's what these are as well, and icon player references.
Nice.
So, and this goes all the way up to I9.
Okay.
Or 19.
That could be 19.
No, I think it's I9.
Aw, you sunk my battleship.
Yes, because that's an I and that's a 1.
That is true.
I like to write 11 with 2 different ones. That way it's as confusing
as confusing as possible.
All right, so now we have this cool thing here. Let's find out what is going on. So this will be your game board right here. And it appears we have a higher player count.
Oh, there's all the different quadrants.
Yes, A1 to I9.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what the player count on this is. I don't see it anywhere on the board. But that's going to be your higher player count, whereas your lower player count will only go up to G7.
Okay.
So that's cool. I really like the way they have this set in here. So it fits really nicely.
It's really creative. I don't know that I've actually seen anything quite like that before.
Yeah.
Where the game board is actually inset.
And then this appears to be your population and prestige trackers. Prestige, I assume, being the victory points. And that fits in there nicely right above this. And then we have, this is probably your market with all of your buildings on it and stuff like that.
Lots for sale.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that fits right there, which is really cool as well.
Oh,
and
I love
this
it.
whole thing sits right on top of that.
That is very good organization.
Yeah. And then on top of this, you have what appears to be your player boards. Dual layer player boards, which is always fun.
Oh, I love dual layer player
Yes.
boards. They make me happy.
So if I had to guess here, it appears as though you're going to punch all these out and stick them in those spots. So you'll have the 9-person here and the $3 one here, etc.
Yeah.
And then on this board will be the cards. So this is the lot for sale. The lot is A1 or G3.
Okay.
And you'll pay this amount for it and put your building on that lot.
I'm really excited about this one.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about it.
And these are all guesses.
Yeah,
I should say, these are all guesses. I've said that, I've done that before and been completely wrong. But it very much appears that that's how that works. And so, when we put this back in here, this will go on top of it. And there's a little bit of space here now, but when you put these into the player boards, it will lift it up, which will also reduce the amount of space over the top that is right here And so, as I said before, I really appreciate it when they do that so that you don't have a ton of filler space in the box. And
well, it's nice when it all fits in there tight because then you can position it any way on your shelf and all the pieces won't fall out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is a Dice Tower Essential.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Well, we now own an essential game according to the Dice Tower.
Right?
So, I mean, I don't know what we were doing before. We were living a really crazy life before.
I think we have at least, well, I know we have at least one other Dice Tower Essential. Onitama is. But I'm not sure what else, if we have any other ones.
Well, we need to look into this because we can't go down the wrong path.
All right, last one, and I lied. I was mistaken. This is actually Osprey Games, not Arcane Wonders.
Okay.
And this one we actually didn't pick up at Dice Tower West. We found this and we're like, "What? Excuse me? They have Undaunted in in sci-fi, and we have to get that." And so we bought it, and it was delivered before we even got back.
That's right. I remember seeing that on the Ring camera.
Oh
look, our board game just showed up.
So
we didn't get all of these home in our suitcase. This one arrived separately from Amazon. Thank you, Amazon, for quick and fast delivery.
And so...
Yes, that's right. We found this in the Dice Tower library, looked into it. We didn't even have time to play it.
Right.
But
we know we like Undaunted.
Yes.
And this is the same system in science fiction, and I'm like, I mean, duh.
Yeah, we love science fiction. Ooh, I like it when they do that.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm including this in our Dice Tower haul because it basically is.
Well, if we hadn't gone to Dice Tower, we wouldn't have purchased it, so.
Exactly.
Yes, definitely.
So, more punch bars.
Yay!
And very cool. We have some standees. Right here. It looks like the blue faction gets more specific standees than the yellow faction.
Vulcan.
Or orange.
Oh, Artemis. Hades. Okay, that's just fun.
You have a drill and a hauler.
That's just fun.
A bunch of other tokens. And then we have, so Undaunted, Normandy, and that line uses tiles to create the map. This game, because the spaces are all different shapes, this game uses boards.
Whoa!
So that is one board.
Okay.
With again, with all different shapes of spaces. Which you couldn't do that with tiles.
Right.
And there are 4 boards, and I believe each of them is double-sided.
Oh, wow.
So you get a lot of maps out of
This is going to be an epic battle.
Yeah.
What's the player count on this game?
2. You can play it 4.
But you'd be on
but
teams?
You're dividing, yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the case for, or is that even the case? Yes. 1 to 2 players or 4 players. So you can't, there is even a solo mode, which I'll probably try
I just
that
noticed
out.
that. Solo rule.
Oh, there you go. So
or is that for Captain Solo? Just don't put him in the cargo hold.
Right. So yeah, you can play this solo, and there's a whole solo campaign, which I will probably go through. But it is primarily a 2-player game that you can play 4 players if you split up the things. But here's your scenarios. And so it gives you some background, and then there's the map you're using for this scenario, along with the rules and the units specific to this scenario. And then you move on to this one, and again, you have some story for the scenario and the rules and the units for this specific scenario. So much like the regular Undaunted ones, or at least the Undaunted Normandy line, because I know there's a, I think it's the Britain one, that is airplanes.
Okay.
So there's the rule book, scenario book, and the solo rule book. This is where you'll place all these punch out boards and stuff like that.
Perfect.
After we put the standees on them.
This is a clear insert, and you can see the star design that they put in the box underneath.
Yeah.
I just think that's really fun. That's a fun little thing that they added that they didn't have to add, but it makes it nice when they do that.
And this is cool as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and punch one of these so you can see it. So the drill, we will put this on here, the standee here. So we have the drill that stands up like that.
Yeah.
And then this token gives it a status effect, and I don't remember what that is. But status effect, and the whole thing sits in there.
Oh,
like
you don't
that.
have to take it back apart.
So, exactly.
That's nice.
It's very nice. So, outside of that, we have a bunch of dice. And in this game, you don't just have D10s, I believe is in Undaunted Normandy. You have D12s, D10s, D8s, and I think that's it. 'Cause
Yeah.
this is another D10 and another D12. And so that's how they do height difference in this one.
Oh.
Or elevation difference, is if you are shooting up, you are forced to use a D8. If you're on the same level, you use a D10, and if you're shooting down, you can use a D12.
Okay.
Which is cool. I like that method for elevation difference in combat.
Yeah.
So then we have all of the cards for the yellow team, yellow faction, I should say. And if you don't know, this is a deck building game that combat, spatial movement, and etc. deck building game. So you're going to, every time the nail gunner card comes up in your deck, then you can move one of your nail gunners. So right here. So 2 nail gunners here. This is nail gunner C. And this is, oh, these are all nail gunner C. And so this is the squad for nail gunner C. And
Right.
you can see the squad has 3 different people, which this is really cool.
It's really cool. I'm
It has the
very
same-
much enjoying all of the art. I like the colors that they've chosen as well.
Yeah. The same suit that they're wearing, but the person is different. As opposed to, again, in Undaunted Normandy, it's the entire picture here, and it's kind of a watercolor art, which
Yes.
is still is really nice. And each person has a slightly different look to them. This one, the suit looks exactly the same, but you can see the different people operating it. And then we have Squad Leader D. So let's see, Squad Leader D. Excuse me, that's a Squad Leader, so they're not going to have their own token. Then you have a Scanner D. And yeah, there's 3 of those. And where are they? Scanner D right there. So that's how that works. Drill crew. So this will be the drill itself, that one that we pulled out over there.
Yes.
And
So we play this card
There you go.
and then we move our piece on the game board.
yeah, or you attack with that
Okay.
character.
Right.
Move, attack, do some action with that. So this one you can scout or attack.
Okay.
And this one you can move, attack, or suppress. So actually, I don't even know how this one moves. But it's a standee, so it probably does something else completely. So, and then you have interference, which I believe is a new thing in this one. Maybe not. We haven't played Normandy enough for me to remember. But anyway, these will be put into your deck by your opponent, bogging it down. This doesn't do anything, it just sits in there.
Right.
So then you have more of these. You got a supervisor, a bunch of other stuff, Ripper, etc. So that is the yellow faction. We have similarly the turquoise or blue faction, navigator, gunner, etc. Your interference cards, captain, and this is the back of these.
Oh, that looks really cool. See, I
So there
don't
you go.
normally love the just kind of primary colors for games. There's so many other amazing shades and
Which this is.
that you can do, but it works really well with this game. I think I'm feeling like it looks really awesome with just kind of the blue and the yellow and the red. But I'm excited.
Me too. This should be really good.
Undaunted 2200,
Callisto.
or are we saying 2200?
I would
20
say 2200.
2200. Callisto. Nice.
And that is the this is a heavy box. This one is too. But that is the end of this unboxing right here. This
Wow.
amazing, incredible, stupendous, exciting,
Woohoo!
awesome unboxing
Oh, look, I can't even see you anymore. The games are too high.
with all of these games.
Can't even see. There you are.
Cool.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. Some of these you will see in reviews soon, so we'd better get to it, Sarah.
Absolutely. I guess we better turn this off and start playing.
Yep. We'll see you next time.
All right.
Have fun playing games.
Bye, everybody.